It's the kid, 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 it's the kid. New flex, new flex, new flex. Relax, chill, 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 chill. We're coming in new. We're coming in new. So relax. Just I know that you expect us to be in here, but like things are happening new. This is called the new. This is called the 2020 flex. It's called the 2020 flex. It's your boy, the kid HH, as you can see right there. That's my new name going into 2020. The kid HH. You go your boy Nix. Why are you wearing a cricket outfit?
Well, West Indies.
No. Don't say well or anything. This is a football show.
We whitewashed the mighty Afghanistan. Our first series win in 5 years, so I'm feeling a bit special right now.
I'm with you. We have to branch out, man. It's not all about football. We have to branch out, buddy. I've been saying this for weeks. I'm with you, 100%, 100%.
I mean, look. Basically, no comments, man, no comments. Yo, what's up? Yeah, Gallo, what up, baby? What up, baby? What up? So look, Twitter poll is out. It's on Nix's page. So Nix, if you follow Nix, just type in Nix. I think he's the only guy called Nix on Twitter. Go to his Twitter page, and he's put out the whole thing. I think it's about whether Liverpool will go invincible. Whether Liverpool can go invincible. So if you follow Nix, go to his Twitter page and vote in the poll. It's going to be for half an hour. And then we're going to be talking about whether Liverpool can go invincible, this and that and everything. So Liverpool City, that's going to be one of our main topics. Of course, we're going to be reviewing that game, looking at VAR, the penalty challenges. What is handball really? Who knows about me? What the hell is handball and all that crap? Weekend review. Dortmund, should we induct the badge? Arsenal, should we induct their entire life and so forth? We're going to talk about Obama and being friends with troops and Arsenal Fan TV. What is Arsenal Fan TV and so forth? Nick, I can see you smiling in there. Relax, chill. And also shave, by the way, shave.
This is a new trim still.
Okay, look, chill. So basically, Nick's shave, devil, grow a few inches. That's my advice for both, man. So,
all right,
No, devil. You don't have to come back. Look, I'm an easy target.
Nothing.
I'm an easy target. You don't need to come back at me.
After all the help I gave you, I bought you a new hairline and you throw it back in my face. Okay. All right,
bro. It was a compliment, man. Relax. It was a compliment. And we might talk about a little bit about about Dybala and Cristiano being on the decline, and Cristiano showing full well that this is what he always was. So let's just put that to one side.
You're a disgrace.
Bro, let's just chill. Actually, I actually like this. I think this format is a lot more freer. This format is a lot more free. I like this format because I can put it in your face.
Because we can't shut you down in person. That's why.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. No, because this makes me a lot more freer, so I can come at you from different angles, man. I like this. This is free. This is called freelance. We can review. So let's just look at what happened over on the weekend. First of all, before we go over to the main crack, of course, City and Liverpool, let's look at the other teams. Is it a 3-horse race or a 4-horse race? Wait. Can I land? What the hell? Let me land. I mean, how are you laughing before I can actually land the flipping thing?
You're part of the football banter show because this is I'm confused. That's banter right there. That is banter. Right
I'm Nigerian. I still don't know what banter means, man. Sorry. So that doesn't translate over into West Africa, man. So my thing here is this: is this a 3-horse race or a 4-horse race? Let me give my thoughts first. My thoughts first. People like to hate on this whole Chelsea thing. I was hating it. I called Lampard a product of his inexperienced and a slightly white privilege. That's what I thought it was. That's just what I thought it was with regards to Lampard. But he's proven me wrong. And this guy has been doing some amazing stuff with Chelsea. So I'm still not sold on Leicester City. I don't know how you guys feel about Leicester City. I'm not sold. They've done amazingly well. James Maddison is quality. Vardy is probably one of the most informed strikers in the world. I think that they will decline very soon, and I'm not sure how they react when they come into a slump. I think that we've got to take Chelsea seriously. I mean, we'll go to Arsenal and United, but let's just look at the top of the table before we go to United and Tottenham. Would you say Chelsea and Leicester are in the title race? Chelsea are in the title race, or Chelsea and Leicester will pretty much waver away? I'll go with Nick's.
My friend. What title race?
Oh, so we're friends now.
What title race? It's quite ironic. I thought we were bantering. You say title race, I say friend. I thought we were just bantering. Like, I hope there is no title race. As a matter of fact,
says who?
That makes sense. She's very familiar. I remember last year, it was probably around this time, maybe a bit earlier. And I remember Kyle, we had you on the podcast. And he said, there is no title race. This is when obviously Man City. And right now, I'm saying the same thing, but on the other side, there is no title race. It's finished. The red confetti needs to come out. Liverpool fans, book your annual leave for the parade in May. It's done. It's over. Like when Joshua knocked Dylan White out of the ring. It's done. It's over. Listen, I'm sorry. There's a race for second. Man City, they better just they better be careful they don't drop out the top 4. That's what I'm saying. They better be careful.
That's a bit outrageous.
But it's a race for second, and there's 3 teams in that race at the moment: Man City, Chelsea, and Leicester.
I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. It's done. I said it was done from when Laporte got injured. I've never changed, never wavered from that. From the moment he got injured, it was Liverpool's title. And all it is now is they're getting closer and closer to picking it up. That's it. It's just a matter of time. They just have to play the games. It's a formality.
You guys are so reactionary.
In terms of we're not.
Leagues, let devil land. Reactionary. Call the reactionary.
If Chelsea take points off of Man City in the next game week, then it's definitely done and dusted. If Chelsea win that game, as Nick said, it's a race for second, and that would be a massive.
Wait. Devil, wait a minute. So if Chelsea beats Man City, why aren't Chelsea in the title race?
I don't think Chelsea will have the legs, or we've seen it in the big games already, where they played well, but they haven't really had that killer instinct against the big teams. And that's the difference. When you look at Liverpool, they dismantled City. I know City had chances, but they dismantled them. It was like they had them at arm's reach all game. When they were ready, they were going up the other end and looking dangerous. They managed that game perfectly.
The difference, the difference with Liverpool and let's say Chelsea, forget the quality, because obviously Liverpool are better side quality-wise. But the mark of champions, we always say, picking up points or even picking up wins when you're not playing well. They played you. Was that at Stamford Bridge? Chelsea. Was that Stamford Bridge?
Stamford Bridge, yeah.
You were arguably either the better team or at least equal. Yeah, they came away with the win. They came to Old Trafford, won their worst performance of the game, and that's the only points they've dropped this season, and they still got a draw out of it. Whereas Chelsea will play poor, get battered 4-0, drop points against Leicester, but play well even, and lose to Liverpool. So that's the difference. Liverpool can play poor and still get the draw if needs be, but more likely to win. Chelsea, Leicester, arguably even Man City this season, when they play poor, they've been punished for it. And then even when they play well, sometimes it just goes against them. Listen, the stars are aligned, unfortunately.
Well, wait, are you an astrologer? Nix, are you an astrologer? Do you do astronomy? What stars? What stars? Look, man, devil talk, man.
Listen, we're talking about Chelsea, but I know Leicester winning the league is going to seem outrageous, but they're doing better this season than they were when they won the league. And
better,
in Jamie Vardy, they've got the best striker in the league, and he has been since Rodgers has come. I think his record under Rodgers, I think he scored basically in every game bar 2, if you look at his ratio. And that's ridiculous. He's banging goals, and he's creating mayhem for Leicester. I think they showed defensively it's not all about Harry Maguire. Do you know what I mean? They have a system which works for them. Son Yushu's come in. I don't even know how to say the boy's name. He's come in and he's looked rock solid. And it's funny because as an Arsenal fan, we wanted both of those centre backs. We wanted Evans and we wanted my man, whose name I can't pronounce. And we end up with Mustafi still. We're a joke. We're an absolute joke.
Okay, so
that's all I'm saying on Arsenal in this episode. That's all I'm saying on this episode about Arsenal. I ain't saying nothing else.
So let's look here at I want to bring in talk about United and Tottenham. Now, I'm sure Nix will be happy to hear this. That is United's best performance of the season. I will actually echo Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Nick, stop looking at the heavens. There's no nothing. Look straight. Look straight, man. Look at this man. That's United's best performance of the season. And let me just be real here right now. Martial is quality. We always knew this, and we always knew that he was great. Rashford is a talented dude. He's really talented. He'll never be the player that people think he is. And I think that
you think he is?
he'll never be world class.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree.
He can never look the Us in the face.
What's the Us doing these days? Can the Us even look the Us in the face?
Can I land?
No.
There are levels to this young team. Okay, like let me do some of this UK things that you guys do in England. There's levels to this young team. The Us, Mbappe, Leroy Sané, that's a separate group. Rashford will never be in that category ever. That's just happening. But I think that's for United. What do you guys feel? Based off that performance, which I thought was a very good performance, do you see them, specifically with Rashford and Martial, is that enough to get top 4?
No, it's not. For us to get top 4, it will take one of, realistically, Chelsea or Leicester kind of falling away. That's the first thing. And secondly, Pogba needs to be back and firing all cylinders, and not just until January. Because listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Pogba's pulling a Coutinho. I'm not saying he's not injured, because he clearly is. But remember when Coutinho went to go Barca, and he started the season at Liverpool, had a good first half of the season, and he came up with some mystery injury and didn't play for like the whole December. And then before he knew it, he joined Barcelona. I'm not saying Pogba's playing injury because he's clearly injured, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went in January. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I hope
Labil to leave in January?
I said not beyond the realms of Pogba. Don't quote me. Don't use it as a tabloid headline. Neek says Pogba's leaving.
No, that's exactly what I'm going to do. What the hell?
But if we are to get top 4, Pogba, Martial, and Rashford, for me, as the key, have to pretty much for the rest of the season once Pogba's back and be firing. Anything other than that, anything less, no chance.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that again. I think Martial, Rashford's not a central striker. I think trying to play him as a central striker, the team suffered. Martial coming back gives you that focal point. It also gives you flexibility.
But Devil, is he, and okay, Devil, what's AC then? What is Devil? Please tell me, what is his strongest position? Because I don't know.
Rashford's he's better as an inside forward, coming off from wide. I wouldn't say he's a typical wide player, but using those pockets of space between the fullback and the centre backs, making those runs in between. We've seen he's a skillful player. He can beat a man. Playing off the main striker, I think that's his best suit. Playing him as the up top, it kind of negates his game.
Rashford has to run. Like, he has to drive towards goal. Playing with his back to goal. That is, he can't do it.
Not that guy.
It's not his game. And it takes away from his own strength and the team, because he's not going to link play how you want, the way that you see Martial does. Hold up the ball, bring someone else into play. He's not going to do that.
Okay, let's just hit this.
Those players are integral to Man United even attempting to come forth, but I think you've left yourself too much of a gap to make up now. I don't think.
Okay, so let's just hit the super chat before we move on here, because it's sort of pertaining. So thank you for the super chat, Ams19. Thank you for the super chat. He says Rodgers with no midweek games is dangerous.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
Good point. I know we're gonna get onto it later, but the Leicester title winning side, they benefited from the fact that they didn't have any European football to play.
Yeah.
The Chelsea, the year after Jose got sacked, did you win the league? You finished
Conte.
Yeah, and then and you didn't have European football.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a benefit.
It does make a difference.
If he can keep that 11 to 13 fit, then dangerous 100%. But we are planning on getting onto that.
Okay, so let's bring in let's look at the two North London clubs which seem to be on the decline. Before we get to Arsenal, because I'm sure Devil has lots to say about Arsenal and Emery, and also Unai, if you're out there, it's good evening. Just say it's good evening.
There's a lot of things that we can slander Emery about. Let's not take the piss out of his accent.
Thank you. I am the only person that I haven't actually said the whole good evening thing, because, like, come on, guys, that's slow.
I think it's a bit disrespectful. Like, He can probably
It is.
say good evening better than most people can say in his language, in Spanish.
Yeah.
So like,
So it's harsh, man. It's harsh.
You know what? I actually think it's quite endearing. It's quite endearing. It's quite, it's. I wouldn't take the piss out of it, but it is funny, and he just keeps trying, and it's like it's good for you that you're trying. You know what I mean? He could have just come and done a Pochettino and not talk English for 3 years, and then just rock up at Tottenham, and all of a sudden you speak perfect English.
Boy,
mate. So your English weren't good enough at Southampton. It's like Southampton weren't a big enough club for me to talk. You know what I mean?
Before you
with regards to Spurs, then
comment from KCXO, it says someone made a track about Unai. Yeah, I've heard it. It's the same guy made one about
there's a diss track.
Yeah, made a diss track. I'll send it later to you. It's decent still. Decent, real kind of.
All right, so with regards to Spurs, guys, are they done out here? Tottenham. This season, is it a write-off?
The parallels between Arsenal and Tottenham fans right now is just crazy. It's a mutiny on both sides. Like, I think the only thing with Tottenham fans is they're a little bit more divided. Some still want Poch in, some just a complete Poch out. Whereas every Arsenal fan is Emery out at the moment. But Tottenham fans aren't happy at all. There's a lot of problems there. As in, he hasn't really rotated the players. People are saying he's been given money to spend, but he's not spent it wisely. He's putting too much faith in Eriksen, who clearly wants to leave. He's not putting in Ndombele in from the start and all this kind of stuff. There's something rotten in the core of Tottenham at the moment, and they need a change. Yeah, there's something massively wrong there. They need a change before. If they keep this going and Poch stays to the end of the season, it might not just be Poch leaving at the end of the season. It might be half of their players as well. I don't know what the answer is for Tottenham at the moment. And
revamp has to be revamped.
But who do you get in? Do you know what I mean? Who do you go for? If you get rid of Poch, who do you bring in? Whoever it's going to be, they're not going to have a wealth of money to spend, so they're going to have to work with the players that are there. Or
Marquise, bring in Marquise.
Reinvest from player sales, which means you're building a whole squad from scratch. It's a massive, massive job that they're going to have on their hands.
The reality is, I think Poch is clearly trying to phase out some of the old guys. Eriksen is in and out of the team. Rose, same. Alderweireld, same. For me, like, he knows that he needs to rebuild the team, but the question is how, because Levy needs to dip into his pocket, or Spurs are going to have to. It's going to be a very, very slow rebuild that may not be successful. There's no guarantee that he's going to be able to overachieve in the way he has, if you're speaking on a financial level, as he has in the last 5 years or so. It's a risk, because then when he does go, because he's going to go at some point, the next manager that comes in, is he going to have a squad that's capable of taking them to the next level, at least matching what Poch has done? There's no guarantee that. Poch has done a great job at Spurs, and I feel some of the stick that he even gets, even some Spurs fans, I think it's disrespectful, because the fact that you're even in the conversation right now is down to Pochettino. So respect that. If he happens to have
I'm not respecting a break who plays Harry Kane in that Champions League final, man, and doesn't play Lucas Moura. Screw him, man.
The problem is,
to an extent, he's allowed to do that. It's like,
no, he's not. No.
Because if it wasn't for him, Spurs wouldn't even be sniffing champions.
Nah, who cares now? You undid all your good work by doing that crap.
It was the right decision.
That was a poor decision.
He made this wrong decision in the FA Cup semis when he played Son at left wing back against Chelsea, against us in the semi-finals as well. He's done where tactical decisions in big games. I'm not saying he's adverse to criticism, but when he's being some people Poch out, I'm like, what the cheek are you? Because the position you're in now, that's your normal place. The fact that you can even think about top 4 this year is because of Poch. So hold your corner and hope for better days in the future. That's what I say, innit? I like that.
Well, I understand it though, because they've been close.
Yeah.
And see them back where they are. I think when something's stale. And this has become stale. I think a lot of Spurs fans think if they don't act soon, it's going to be very difficult to even get back to where they were. When you look at the likes of Leicester, what they're doing, and Chelsea was supposed to be on a down period, and they've just come through this with flying colours, and they're thinking this was an opportunity for Spurs to really cement a top 4 and push on, and they've gone backwards drastically. So I think a lot of fans are thinking, right, if we don't change this now, we're going to be in deep doo-doo. And I
Mm.
understand that. I understand that thought process. But you
But
have to
change
think
what?
what's
The
out there.
manager? The manager?
Yeah. Yeah, because look at his decisions. His substitutions have been poor for a long time. He's never been great with substitutions. As you said, in a few big games, he's got his tactics completely wrong.
How good is the squad? Let's be honest. How good is that squad? Is that the second best squad in Europe? No, but it got to a Champions League final. It got to the Champions League final. Beat Real Madrid. Beat Dortmund. He beat big teams in his. So to say, I'm not even saying another manager comes in. The quality of the players ain't elite. Some of them are very good. Harry Kane, Son, Ndombele is very talented.
Yeah.
After that, who?
Aurier.
Oh, after that, you're really scratching the surface. You're really you're Winks, Dyer.
Yeah, Eric Dyer's not bad.
They need
Winks.
I don't understand what he is.
Okay, guys, let's move. Let's move. I don't know how to address Dortmund because Lucien Favre scares the living daylights out of me. Like, if I saw Lucien Favre, I don't know whether to run away from him or punch him in the face. You've been doing. True. I can do. Look, Devil, man, that's clever. That's the move, man. That's the move. Punch and run.
Don't barge him on the sideline.
Punch and run. But my thing about this is that you've tried the same tactic every single time, and you get bent over and reconstructed without any loop every single time by Bayern Munich. Doesn't it occur to this dude that maybe just for a laugh, just for giggles, try something different? This shouldn't be called the Klassiker anymore. This should be called the brick or the Dortmund gets smacked up in the face, because it's stupid. So we hyped this up, huge game, title clash apparently, although Mönchengladbach want to say what's up, and you get sacrificed. Two things here I won't give to you. So I'll start off first with Devil. Do you feel that this interim coach, Dieter Flick, he's already doing a better job than Niko Kovac, and maybe he's been able to find an extra oomph for this Bayern side to get Koeman, Lewandowski, and Gnabry playing well? And as for Dortmund, should we just forget these guys? They're done. And also Sancho was substituted at 30-something minutes, and it was a tactical substitution. It wasn't an injury; it was a tactical substitution. So speak on both those aspects.
Well, I think it's a bit early to say that he's going playing differently. Bayern, he's had 2 games. Bayern done this to Dortmund, as you said, constantly throughout the years, no matter who the manager is. Bayern have always had the tools. They've got the players in the squad to do this to many, many, many clubs in world football. It's just that happens that they do it to Dortmund all the time. Nothing there surprises me. I think Bayern will feel that they don't necessarily need to rush into getting a new manager. There's a lot of names being bandied about. Apparently, they've approached a lot of people and been turned down. Apparently, Wenger turned them down, depending on which reports you're
is he turning down?
Apparently, but he didn't want to be a short-term solution. He's like, I want to be in for a long haul or nothing, and they just wanted someone to steady the ship to the end of the season. He's like, nah, I'm good. Apparently, according to Wenger, he was contacted, but he's no longer in the running. That's what he said. In terms of Dortmund, there's something going wrong with Dortmund and Sancho. I don't know if it's transfer speculation and he's trying to angle for a move. He came back late from international duty last time and he lost his place in the team. He's been substituted in about 2 or 3 games since. I think something behind the scenes is going on with Sancho. I don't think he's very happy there. I think he's trying to angle for a move, possibly back to the Premier League in the summer, possibly Man United. You never know.
If you want.
Knicks don't. Don't be cheeky. Don't be cheeky.
In terms of Dortmund and their tactics, they always get battered by Bayern. I think they try to, they've had success a couple times where they beat Bayern 4-3, or I think it was last season when they had that crazy game, which they won 4-3. Dortmund aren't necessarily known for their defending. So I understand why their tactics are, let's go for it, because that's the best way. That's how we play. If we try and defend, we're probably going to concede 4 anyway. So at least if we try and go up the other end and get 3 or 4, we have a chance. I understand it. sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. More times than not, it hasn't worked for them. But, you know, this league's not going to be lost between the games that Dortmund and Bayern have. There's a lot of other teams that can take points off of both of these sides. So I think what you don't want from Bayern is for Bayern to get on a run of 6 or 7 games where they're winning, because then they're gone. So they got to hope someone like Mönchengladbach or away to Freiburg or whoever, someone can pick up points from Bayern and they can just, you know, trundle along and be thereabouts at the end.
Okay, actually,
we'll talk about Lewandowski because this
he's no best striker in the world. On form, he's the best striker in the world.
100%.
It's crazy.
If we're talking form, Vardy's second.
Potentially, although Timo Werner has been pretty good, Benzema has also been pretty good as well.
Benzema's been good, yeah. Benzema's been good. Huh?
Haaland,
hype machine, yeah, Haaland,
His goal record is ridiculous. I'm not going to say it's not, but what do we really know about the Austrian league? What do we really know about the Austrian league?
Yeah,
but he's doing it in the Champions League as well. You know.
Okay, so let's just take this super chat here. So from Julian N, £2 super chat. Thank you, bro. It says we've obviously, I think he might be a Bayern fan. We made Alphonso Davies into prime Jessica Alba. Well, so things of Alphonso Davies. So do you think he's the next big thing?
I thought that was a mistake because I looked at the formations in the last 2 games for Bayern and I saw him playing left back. I thought that must be an error. He's a winger. They signed him from I think it's Vancouver in the MLS as a winger, and they was playing Alaba at centre back. I was like, nah, this is Sky Sports, when they do their formations, they get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
That's actually what he's been playing. Alaba at centre back, Alphonso Davies left back, and it's working. It's working. It's crazy.
Under the new.
They just been like, yeah. I think the last 2 games they've had Alaba at centre back.
Okay, yeah, I saw Alaba there at centre back. I like Alaba still.
But he's no longer as good as. I mean, Alaba was one of the best left backs in the world at his peak, like 100%. But I think he's sort of declined.
He would play.
He's not great left back in
midfield for Austria. He was playing like
DM. No, DM.
I'm sorry. In the last Euro 2016, he was like attacking. I'm sure he would. But anyway, yeah, he's versatile. He's versatile. Can I just shout out Dominic Rich in the
Yeah, as I said, he's in there, man. Dominic Rich, fellow YouTuber. What up, baby? What up, man? Thanks for the support, man.
West Indies. That's what he said.
Okay, so I actually want to save this topic till after this one because I think that we can go deep in this one. I think it's the whole what's it called? Messi versus Juninho free kick thing. I want to maybe say that towards the end. So let's just we're now coming over to half an hour, so let's just go deep into our main juice. So let me just lay it down here for you guys, because we talked about this briefly before we came on air. It's not over. It ain't over.
Admit the
last time. So basically, let me give you a bit of behind the scenes. Nix, because he's a mathematician and an accountant who earns 6 figures every year, he pretty much sets up the whole thing. Basically, he does this out the side. This guy has like an island and a flipping private jet. So this guy's as rich as he seems. So don't be fooled by how shaky he looks. So he sets whoever sends us the timetable, and the title that he gave was "Half Hope Concedes Defeat for Man City's title challenge." Now, let me be clear here and speak to you on this. I ain't conceding nothing. I don't change my picks. I believe City are still going to win the title. It's looking unlikely. It's looking a bit more difficult, but I still believe it's going to happen. But let me just say this right now. 9 points is a good gap. It's November. It's not even mid-November yet. And Liverpool and Klopp will act that we're not dealing with any pressure. Bro, they will have the pressure of, is 2014 going to happen again? Is last season going to happen again when you've had these leads and you fail to capitalize on these leads? But they're in a very good position right now. But for Man City, it's looking difficult. And trust me, Pep Guardiola, that dude is weird. Twice. So,
thank you so much.
No, look, he's hilarious. Look, I find him hilarious, but do you feel that before you even get to Liverpool, talk to me about Pep. Why is Pep so obsessed, like intensely obsessed with winning this Premier League and usurping Liverpool? Shouldn't he be saving this passion for the Champions League? Speak on it.
Let me come in first. I'll answer the question, and we can probably go broader a bit after in terms of the game and the title race. But Pep knows what he's doing. The Champions League is the biggest domestic trophy. Let's not get it twisted. It is, but he's coming to a Manchester City side who they've won a couple of Premier Leagues. Cool. Nobody really respects them because of how they've come up. They're still the second club in Manchester globally. Of course, yeah, they're better than Man United, but they're still the second club in Manchester. When you talk about history in England, people will put the likes of Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal ahead of them. They need to really create some domestic success, records, history for them to be taken seriously globally as a football club and as a brand. If you dominate your league, generally the Champions League comes. You know, I know Juve ain't won the Champions League in a long time. But
96, 97.
They got to 2 finals in the time that they've been 8 years winning Serie A.
Lost them both.
Yeah, they did. But you have to be in the final before you can even win it. Bayern Munich, they've dominated Germany for years and years, and every so often they pop up and enter a Champions League final. They win it here, they lose it there, whatever. Man City, realistically, it's a project they're building, and if you're going to build a project, you start from the ground up. So you dominate your country, you dominate your league, and then you focus even more so on continental and global glory. So I think he's going about it the right way. The question is how long? Because is he going to be here for 5 more years? Is he going to be here for 10 more years? Because sometimes it takes that kind of length of dominance. Look at Chelsea under Jose. They dominated England, but it wasn't under Jose that they won it. It was when they had arguably one of their worst teams that decade, but they won the Champions League. So I think the way that they're going about it, Man City, is correct. But in terms of Pep, we might have to just buy this time and stick in the job because the Champions League may not come this year, may not come next year. It might take another 3 years or so. But I think he's going about it the right way.
Dev?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that to an extent. I think as well, the thing is with Man City, compared to the sides that you said, your Bayern and your Juve, especially, where those guys found it a lot easier to dominate their leagues is they were able to poach all the best talent from their direct rivals. Man City don't have that. They don't have that. So Man City can't just go to a Liverpool and be like, yeah, boy, we're going to take him and him. So you're
Mane.
weak on you know what I mean? Whereas Juve were doing that for years. Bayern have been doing that to Dortmund for years. So Man City have to find a different way to try and dominate in England, which is, as you can see by how closely pushed they were last season by Liverpool and what's happening this season with Liverpool, it's not easy. So to say they should just focus on the Champions League, Man City don't want to just be a great footballing side. It's like Nick said, they want to be a global brand. They want to be up there earning commercially what some of the biggest...
And they've spent the money. They've spent the money.
Yeah. So it's a lot more than just go out on the pitch and win football games. There's a lot more to it than that. As we can see, Man United, as you said, Man United aren't at the top of their game, nowhere near. But globally, in terms of commercial success, they're still huge and massive. They've earned that from dominating and winning trophies here and in Europe. So it's going to take a little while for Man City to get to that, and they've got fierce competition at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, before we just sort of move, let me just hit the super chat here. So super chat here from Martin Rosario, who says, "This is the season of all HH predictions will fail. It's not. So you're wrong." So by May, you'll know, because trust me, you guys will say HH. That's why you're that dude. It's fine. So let's talk about the game much more specifically. So
yes,
before we really get into the details of the handball and all that kind of VAR stuff, because I think Devo always makes a very good point that I sort of steal his point. That's VAR isn't the bad guy; it's just a machine. It's a tool. It's the people who use the tool. So don't hate VAR. Hate the bricks who use the tool, and hate the stupid people in the Premier League who don't want to get the referee to referee the game by looking at the flipping screen that every other league does. So that's one side. Did Liverpool deserve to win when Man City robbed?
Man City wasn't robbed. Man City weren't robbed. Firstly, I just want to say, I thought of this analogy the other day about VAR. It's like you being tired of taking your kid to school. You think, how can I get this kid to take himself to school? So you buy him a car. In theory, he should be able to get to school in the car. But in reality, he's a kid. He doesn't know how to drive a car. And that's what's happening with the officials in VAR. Do you know what I mean? We've given them the tools to make the right decision, but they don't know how to do it. So it's just pointless. In terms of did the officials rob Man City? The first penalty, which everyone's talking about, I feel like they were robbed there.
Did that hit Silva's hand first?
Not because it should have been a penalty, but because the referee should have given a penalty because it hit Trent's arm. He saw that. VAR should have overturned that because it hit Silva's arm first, which meant it would have been a free kick for Liverpool, which meant Liverpool shouldn't have gone up the other end and scored. That's if they were using it correctly, but they're not. So what happened is the referee said he didn't see anything, which I later found out afterwards that he said he did see it, but he didn't deem it a handball, which goes against the laws of handball because he said his arm was in a natural position. But if your arm's out to the side like this, that's not a natural position. You can't tell me that's within the silhouette, which apparently is the new handball rules. It's not. So the referee should have seen that. That's a mistake on the referee. As I said, once he's seen that, he should give the penalty. VAR should overturn the penalty and give a free kick to Liverpool for the initial handball from Bernardo Silva. None of that happened. They let it carry on. Liverpool scored the first goal. So they can feel hard done by on that. In my opinion, they can feel hard done by there. But there's still a lot of football to be played. Do you know what I mean? That was after how many minutes? You can't tell me after what? 4, 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it was, that you say that one decision cost you the game. There's still 80-odd minutes of football to play.
We lost the tire because we could go in the 6-minute half.
Yeah. So I think I think it's a bit hard to say that. I think there was some bad decisions. There's been some poor decisions from VAR or the officials using VAR all weekend. It's like they're just trying to make it better, but they're making it worse because none of it's consistent. There's no consistency. Some are using it for this, and some are using it like the offside decision for the second goal. How you can make a decision that quickly, where we saw just the day before at Sheffield United, it took them almost 2 minutes. I don't understand what's going on there. They didn't even look like they looked at it. There's a goal, carry on, let's play on. So it's a bit strange. I think he was onside. I think he was. But I was a bit confused as how they didn't actually go and have a look at it. But I think Man City will rue their missed chances because they did have chances. They got into good positions, and Aguero's just cursed. There's some sort of juju on Aguero at Anfield where I think he's got 1 goal in 11 games or something up there.
EPL merchants, international flop.
Sorry, is that
got to do with Anfield?
That's in the Premier League.
So, yeah,
carry on.
No, I think Liverpool, as I said before, in terms of game management, they managed the game very, very well, and they deserved their 3 points. I think a lot of people criticize Liverpool's midfield. They showed yesterday what their midfield is about.
Fabinho, big time.
Fabinho had a big game. I think Henderson looked good before he came up. Wijnaldum had a great game as well.
That cross from Henderson.
That cross from Henderson. I thought
No.
Trent.
The cross from Roberts to Bruce. That Scottish dude, man. Robertson, insane.
Yeah, but I will say this: Trent. I saw a meme. Someone saying that Trent had Sterling in his pocket. I don't know what game he was watching. Sterling was running rings around Trent. Yeah. They were getting all sorts of joy down that side in the second half, especially. Mane had to double up, and Mane actually did a good job in doing that. But yeah, Liverpool's title. I said it from when Laporte went down. I'm not going to change my mind.
Right. Now I'm gonna slightly disagree with Devo on the handball slightly because it is a tough one. I tell you why. Because the rules of handball and I see some people talking in the comments. There's 2 rules when it comes to handball, which in itself is already an issue in itself. Attackers have 1 rule and defenders have 1 rule. If it hits your hand to score or create a goal, then it's automatically disallowed because you can't gain that advantage, whether you meant it or not. Wherever your hands are, whether your hands are in a natural or unnatural position, doesn't matter. As long as it hits your hand, you can't score or create a goal. Defending, if it hits your hand, it has to be deemed deliberate. So you move your hand towards the ball, or your arms are in a unnatural position. The reasoning that the PGMOL gave was that they believed, or they said, that Trent's arm was in a natural position. It clearly wasn't. Absolute farce of a reasoning. Absolute farce. But I'm going to argue that one way or another, well, actually 2 ways, that goal shouldn't have stood. Firstly, I believe it was a penalty, even though it hit Bernardo's hand, because if you take the letter of the law literally by the letter, by the exact, it says a player cannot use his hand to score or create a goal. If it hits your hand and wins a penalty, it's neither scored nor has it created the goal. It's created a goal scoring opportunity, i.e. winning the penalty, but it hasn't created a goal, i.e. it's not the assist. So I'm a bit torn. Just by the wording, it hasn't done what they would officially rule it out for. However, if they say, well, it's the same because it created the clear goal opportunity for Guerrero to step up for the penalty, I say fair enough. However, as I stated at the beginning, attackers, if you handball the ball which leads to a goal, it should be disallowed. Trent's handball, whether deliberate or not, directly led to the Liverpool goal. It wasn't the assist, but it was a handball in the build-up play for the goal, which was scored at the other end. How far do you go back? Because if he handballed in the middle of the field, do they take it back there and say, oh, there was a handball, like Lundstrom was offside in the a previous phase of play against Sheffield, against Tottenham? There was a handball. So even if that was deliberate, wasn't deliberate, you cannot give the goal because it led towards the goal. So either way, that goal shouldn't have stood. Whether you give a penalty or not, I don't think that goal should have scored. And the fact that the reason they gave was that it was in a natural position shows to me that they ain't got a clue what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
Everyone can see that it wasn't. It wasn't an unnatural. So yeah, it was an unnatural position. The second handball definitely wasn't. When his hand was literally by his side when Sterling tried to cross it. But I again, you can't use that, as Devo said, to say Man City were robbed. They were robbed in that moment. Arguably, they should have had a penalty. And if they score, I mean, it's not guaranteed. We saw what Mahrez did last year. But if they score, it does change the complexity of the game and possibly the title race. But if you win a game 3-1 and you go 3-0 up, I don't think anyone can really take it away and say you didn't deserve to win. Man City have to answer themselves and say, okay, you went 1-0 down early. What happened after? Pep has to look at himself and say, how come every time I go to Anfield, you get
pimped?
Yeah, and I know they went there a few years ago and they lost. Yeah, when they won the league, they lost 4-3, but they were 4-1 down, and then they got 2 late goals. Like, you can't keep doing this. I know your style, your philosophy, but you just got to change it up. He does this. When he was at Bayern, he got battered by Real. He got battered by MSN. Like, sometimes you need to accept we're not either the best team, the form team, or whatever. We don't have the best players available. Let's change it up. But he doesn't. Whatever players, whatever position.
No, Klopp's got his number.
Yeah.
Klopp's got his number. Klopp's had his number.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I think basically it's like, this is sort of echoing what I said in my review. The thing about this is that whichever team played the game at their pace, at their style, would win. Let's rewind it back to last season, the game at Anfield. That was Man City's game. Boring game and everything, but City totally controlled possession. Mahrez scores that penalty. They win 1-0. You have maybe a different season. But City played the game at their pace. The game was too open. And the thing with Pep's teams, Bayern, Barcelona, this team, they throw many men up forward, and their hope is that they win the ball early from you.
Yeah.
They don't like to defend. If you make City's team to defend, it's crazy. So, as Devo just said, why does Klopp have thingy's number? Klopp's teams know how to find space in attack, and they attack very aggressively with a lot of running and a lot of intensity. That is kryptonite to Pep's philosophy, because Klopp's teams know how to get from defense to attack very quickly with a lot of men forward, and they just know how to find space in an offensive way. So that's kind of tactic, if you have the right players, is going to always kill a Pep team, because Pep's philosophy, it is essential that you have many men up forward in the opposing half, and it's a whole yin yang. By doing that, you have the advantage of you always have 2 or 3 guys to pass in the defensive end, but the disadvantage is defensively you'll always be thin. Hence why you're like, let's not do a lot of defending. How do we do that? We press, we win with the ball high, and we ensure that those guys in the opposing team don't even cross the halfway line. So, but what happened in that game was it was too open, and I was like, once Fabinho scored, because once they scored, City, you now have to aggressively now attack them. You can't just methodically break them down. Now, because the players would have panicked themselves, like, my gosh, we have to get back in the game. Once do that, it was like Liverpool, perfect for us, perfect.
I said this to someone. I don't know if it was it you, Devo, last week when we were talking about City going behind and they panic. I might be speaking to Ramon or something, I can't remember, but City don't know how to come back. Like, if you look at the statistics, when they go behind, they very rarely actually go on and win the game. They're very good at, I wasn't a brilliant side, but they're very good at taking the lead and then
holding on.
Not holding on. No, but
find that lead.
Yeah.
Going behind. Usually what happens is they go behind against a weaker team and that team sits back and they have to try
grind them down.
But the fact is, when they go behind, they're all over the place. Oh, let's just start piling crosses in the box. Everyone, Jesus, everyone just go in the box and then we lump it up and hope Aguero can win a header against Van Dijk. Like, they just start, they actually lose their mind. And it's very weird for such a quality team.
Another big point that a lot of people forgot to mention is Ederson. Ederson not being there. I know Claudio Bravo is decent with his feet, but I actually think Ederson saves at least
one or two of them for sure.
Because that traveled pretty quick.
But his positioning was a dodgy though. Bravo's position for the Fabinho goal was a bit off.
Fabinho was unsavable, but I'm not going to use it against Bravo.
But I think the second one, I think he saves that.
Okay, so wait. Let's just hit the super chat here, and I think it's about this. So from Young One, thank you for the $5 super chat, bro. He says, so if the handball happened outside of the penalty box but wasn't called, will VAR overturn Liverpool's goal like it should have been in the first place?
Should VAR overturn the goal? Yes. Would VAR overturn the goal? I can't guarantee, because from one week they're making different decisions. But that's the point I'm making. The handball led directly to the move which created a goal.
Directly?
He got possession of the ball with his hand, and Man City didn't touch it again after. Oh, actually, no, they did, because
they did.
No. Also, blame. No. And also for City, remember what do we always get told in football? Play to the whistle. You were so obsessed with, and you were so angry that you didn't get the call. You were Liverpool were like, oh, these dudes are just complaining to Michael Oliver. Let's just attack these guys. It's like, guys, you go on to defend. The whistle hasn't blown yet.
It's worse than that. The ball dropped at Aguero's foot. If he had just poked Sterling's on the left-hand side completely, but he's completely stopped and he's appealing because it was such an obvious handball. He's probably thinking it has to be given. But you play to the whistle.
Play to the whistle.
Pass the ball and you complain after.
Play to the so just to sort of round this off, man. So none of you feel that City can get back in this title race? So does this match end it right now? Does this end Man City's title hopes? For sure, it's ended for you.
I think it does. Not because
it's November, guys. Come on.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't think Man City aren't good enough to catch Liverpool. I just think we've seen enough from Man City this season defensively, and with the injuries that they have. I know Laporte should be fit in January. should be. But we've seen enough with the injuries that they've had, and they've picked up in key positions, i.e., centre back. Edison's picked up an injury. If these things keep happening, they didn't look great against Southampton. They obviously lost to Wolves. So it's not just this game in isolation. It's this season they haven't been at their best.
Yeah.
Liverpool haven't been at their best, but they've won every single game bar one. You know, how many points have they dropped? Yeah, exactly. So they haven't been at their best, and they're winning games. Man City
Even when they don't,
that's why.
Even when they're not supposed to, they win.
Yeah. So I think that's why this is Liverpool's year.
Okay, so
a mammoth injury crisis for me, for Liverpool not to win this league. So I'm talking one of Mane and Salah and Van Dijk.
Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's write to this. So guys, final few minutes right now. Send in your questions as we round this off. That so Leicester City looking pretty well. Brendan Rodgers proving that he didn't just run away to Celtic to try and win those championships, that he can actually manage and coach a team. Which Leicester team is better? Guys in the live chat, maybe you can give your thoughts. Which Leicester team is better? 2016 or 2019? 2016 is... Wait, why is this even a debate?
Wait, so what's your answer?
2016, obviously.
Oh, you see? Listen, because obviously Forward put forward the question, but it was, I think it's Gary Lineker, obviously Leicester legend. He said this team, this is his words, said this current team is clearly better than the one that won the title. But for me, like football's about winning. About winning. Man for man, yeah. Pereira's better than Danny Simpson. Soyuncu is better than, even though Wes Morgan was a beast. But maybe
Morgan and Hoof should have never won a league title.
Yeah.
That's an anomaly.
Basically Kante and Mahrez.
But that's it.
That's match.
No, but that's it.
Game that's match.
Mahrez, and obviously Vardy ain't changed. Vardy's the same Vardy now.
But they're playing better football.
Yes.
They're playing better football.
But
they've got
pressure
more
that comes to winning the league, and that team was able week after week after week. It's like sorry. I know you went to the Covent Devil. It's like Liverpool last season. They got 97 points. Does that make them better than Premier League winning teams who got less than 97 points? No. I don't care how good the football you played or how good your individual players are. Winning the league is its own, like, it puts it on a different level. I think you can only compare league winning teams with each other. No one else is in the story for me, in the equation.
See, but on the flip side of that, that Leicester team that won the title had never won the title before. So absolutely zero expectations on them. Whereas this Leicester team now, everyone's going to say, well, they're on good form. They won the title before and blah, blah, blah. Expectations going to be on their shoulders heavily now, because people are going to be thinking, well, you might not win the league, but you're good enough to finish second because of what's happened 4 or 5 years prior, whenever it was. So I think if they get anywhere near the points tally that they had when they won it, because how many points did they get when they won it? It wasn't necessarily.
It wasn't that high. It wasn't that high.
Yeah,
like 80 something.
I personally believe this Leicester side is better than the team that won the league. If you look man for man, I think obviously Mahrez was playing out of his skin.
Kante's too good.
I think.
Kante is like 5 players.
Yeah, Kante was. But I think if you look at Mahrez and you say between Maddison, Barnes, and Ayoze Perez, they have that creativity in the team. They can all supply goals.
Like Mahrez in 2016.
Well, between the three of them, I wouldn't be surprised if they can get close to each other. They're saying one man.
Yes.
No.
One man.
No. Yes. One man.
Okay,
yes.
So how many goals and assists did Mahrez finish with that season? I know he got Player of the Year, but I'm saying in terms of his output, those 3 players can probably match his tally. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying not one of them will match him individually, but between the 3 of them, they will get close or even surpass his tally for that season. Kante, you're not going to replace Kante. Ndidi is good and he's having a great season, but he's not going to do what Kante did for Leicester. Kante allowed Mahrez and Vardy and whoever else to play in that team, really.
Mahrez got 17 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah. So how many assists did Maddison and Tielemans? Maddison, Tillemans, Barnes. How many assists and stuff have they got already? Do you know what I mean? They've spread the
5.
workload across. So trust me, by the end of the season, you look at the thing, Tillemans, Barnes, Maddison, Pires, look at their numbers, and it will equate for what Mahrez done in that side. Because other than Mahrez,
the thing is,
who else was the
let's take in some questions, man. Let's just taking some questions. So before we round up, so this is from AJL. Will Neymar show you guys he is way better than Zad and Messi? Well, if he can stop posting questionable Instagram pics and he can actually stay fit for an entire season and stop wearing crap fashion outfits, then maybe he might. Neymar, as of right now, is irrelevant because he's not done anything of. The last time he was relevant was in 2015. Nix knows this. Devon knows this. We all know this.
Wait, what are you talking about?
CL or shut the hell up. That's my view.
Wait. So, firstly, just grab that Messi part because that's just dunce.
Yeah.
That out of there. I'm not even gonna talk about that. Scrap that.
Wait, why not?
Better than Hazard. He is better than Hazard.
Of course.
And he's been better than Hazard. Of
course.
It's done. That's a silly question.
Did he do what Zad did last season with Chelsea?
Yes.
Bro, he's been doing that. He's been doing that for years.
No. But did he carry a team to European crown? Did he single-handedly carry a team to a European crown? Tell me.
Yeah, European. You're claiming it's not you.
Hazard played in 1/3 of the games in that competition. Giroud gave you guys.
Devil, you can't talk. Devil, what did Zad do in that final? Devil, you can't talk.
Game.
You can't talk.
One game.
I'm a moments merchant. Devil. I'm a moments merchant. He rode in the biggest moments. Who cares what Giroud did for the rest of the game? I'm a moments merchant. He did the right thing in the biggest moments.
How did they get to that final for him to ride? He didn't get him there.
Final as well.
Come on, man. Next question.
Okay, look, let's see what they're saying. Can I see? Okay, let's see this one here. With the reports about Emery having the backing of the board, could it be a smokescreen and that the board is planning to sack him very soon?
Listen, he's been given the dreaded vote of confidence today.
Has
the board have officially come out and said they've got the vote of confidence. That usually means
official?
to be sacked within 6 weeks. But the problem that we have is there's reports saying that we can't afford to sack him. On the surface, that sounds ridiculous because it's going to cost us a lot of money if we don't get in the Champions League. But when you think about it, and someone brought this up today in our group chat, big up Simon. He said he brought in 5 of his own staff. So if we sack him, we have to sack all of them as well. That's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot of money. And then we need to find another manager and a whole new coaching staff. We've left ourselves in a massive, massive pile of doo-doo. And the board ain't going to want to just get out and just throw money at it. Because if we sack Emery and his staff, that's going to cost us upwards of 18 million or something like that. To get a new manager in is probably going to be a hefty contract with a whole new back staff. That's going to cost us X amount of million as well. So I think they're willing to ride out until the end of the season, unless we go on a terrible run between now and Christmas, and then they might just pull the trigger.
Okay. From A6 Bus Stop, goals and assists is a misleading stat to judge a player's influence. How many goals and assists does Kante have? So let me ask you guys this. Where do you stand with regards to stats? How much importance do you put into stats when doing football analysis?
There's a famous quote.
I
think it's Bill Shankly. The only person I respect Liverpool. He says, lies, damn lies, and statistics. Statistics alone are so dangerous. They paint a completely different picture. But they are useful, especially for history purposes. People who haven't been able to actually witness what happened, statistics are important. But if statistics aren't used in context, so quantitative and qualitative in combination, then they're actually useless. They're actually completely useless. Because, okay, for example, I mentioned is it Haaland earlier, the young striker of Austria. Statistically, he's probably the best striker in the world right now this season. But qualitatively speaking, the league that he plays in isn't of the same as the likes of Lewandowski, etc., etc. So I use statistics, but you can't. For me, I don't use it as a blanket statement. I use the statistics to back up a theory which comes from a qualitative understanding or reasoning.
Ooh,
Yeah.
scientist,
Yeah.
man.
That's 100%. But at the same time, statistics are very important in football because when you look at a league table and you look at the points amassed, what is that? Statistically, over 38 games, you amass more points than anyone else.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're the best team in England.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But with regards to players, though,
football, huh?
but with regards to
You can't.
see teams, okay, no, for a league table, that's fine. But if we were talking players, we can't be a slave to stats.
No, but the best players you would imagine would have the best statistics over their career. They should go hand in hand. But using
Okay, give me Maradona's stats and
wait.
Zidane's stats.
But
How good was Zidane and Maradona's stats?
Because Zidane's stat.
No, but I'm just going back on to that question about Kante. To say using goals and assists for Kante, it doesn't make sense because that's not his role in the team.
Yeah.
You would have to use interceptions or tackles made or things like that, duels won, things like that. And if you look at his statistics on that particular or on those metrics, they're probably very high.
Yeah.
So yeah, statistics are.
Okay, but how good were Zidane's and Maradona's stats?
Like they're on even Iniesta, I would say. If you compare a lot of other players, you say, oh yeah, Ozil. You say his assist charts are much higher than the likes of Iniesta, Zidane. But we know because we watch them that he can't chat to Zidane. He can't chat to Ozil Iniesta either. People who didn't watch would say, well, some people who want to push the argument would say, well, none of them got 28 assists in the season. None of them got this. How many assists? I'm like, forget that. But my man bossed the big game. Brazil World Cup 2006, the final itself, a World Cup 1998. Those big moments, and plus other things. But I think, yeah, of course they are important. The reality is a lot of coaches, etc., use these statistics to measure a player's performance. How many kilometers did you run? How many sprints?
Yeah, every club does.
They're important. You can't dismiss them at all.
Okay, so final thing before we round off here. Super chat here from Julian N. 2 points super chat. Dortmund fan, and I think Favre will get sacked. Yes, sack him. Sack Lucien Favre. You're not taking this team forward.
What happened with the Messi and Janino thing? Because
did you miss it?
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot. So
wait, have hope.
Yeah.
Go up to there's a super chat above that one from Martin Rosario.
Above that.
I just read.
Okay, cool. Oh, thanks. All right.
Okay, someone's mic is playing up.
Yeah. Whose mic is that? Because I can hear it in my headphones. I don't know whose mic that is.
I got eating crisp.
No. I'm sugar free. So Martin Rosario says, just watch Juninho's clips. He's the goat of free kicks. So Martin, this was a so-called debate. So this started off because Messi scored a great free kick against a bunch of farmers. No offense to the real farmers out there, but he's scored a bunch of farmers. And people have said, so, well, look, here's where I stand. Today, statistically, as of right now, he's the best free kick taker in the world. Today, as of right now, 2019. The greatest free kick taker of all time is Juninho. So when I put out that tweet and people voted for Messi over Juninho, you're 15.
10.
Or younger. It's as simple as that. It's no offense to you or anything. All you have to do, and I think that's the beauty of YouTube, which is what Martin Rosario has just done. If you go and look at what the hell this guy did, Pirlo literally said that he changed his technique after watching Juninho. And he mirrored his technique on Juninho because Juninho redefined what it's meant to take a free kick, because Juninho was, if you strike the ball at a particular point with the right amount of power, you will do things with the ball that will make it very hard for the goalkeeper to save. And if you strike it at a particular point from any angle, it's going to be very difficult for the keeper to save it. And a lot of people, since Juninho, were like, man, this whole thing of like trying to call it, coveting and everything, no. Find the sweet spot of hitting the ball and boom, your money. So Messi is quality in everything. Juninho revolutionized the skill. He is the great. He is the greatest.
Yeah,
You
look
know,
at the technique that like
What?
Drogba and them man use. Drogba, Ronaldo's used it. We saw Rashford do it the other day. That was Juninho who created that. Juninho did that
Yep.
from everywhere.
There's a
You know what I
comment.
mean?
The comment here. He says, "I got Wesley Osaren Winder says Messi will surpass Juninho. See, statistically, he
Based
made
on-
more free kicks than Juninho. But again, this is where we talk about statistics, quantitative and qualitative. Juninho, the free kicks that Messi's scoring, Juninho did that in his sleep 10 times over. You set up a wall, let me curl it over top corner, But 40 yards out, Juninho popped that in, top corner, bottom corner, under the wall, from the angle. Like any type of free kick you think of, Juninho's done it. Been there, done that, got the piece. Even the one
Any angle.
you haven't thought of, Juninho's done that one as well. That's the thing. Like, I don't even care about how many he did. He scored so many. I don't have the number. But it's the quality. Any angle. The keeper couldn't rest. The keeper didn't know whether or not he was going to shoot or he was going to cross it because they knew that he could score from there. Listen, that argument for me it's a dead argument. There's only one. And I don't think in my lifetime I'm going to see another.
No. So let's just get this last. So, Chris, right? The devil, you wanted to make a point?
No. I was just gonna agree with what Nick's was saying. Is that Juninho is anywhere in or like around the box, right side, left side, anywhere near the halfway line. It didn't matter. He could score from anywhere when it came to free kicks, any angle, under the wall, over the wall, top corner, bottom corner, middle of the goal. Didn't matter. It was going in.
Okay. So last super chat here, and then we're going to ride out here. So Andre super chat says Liverpool signed Stuart Downing based on stats. Eye test. So how? So what did Stuart Downing have good stats for Villa before
Because remember what they signed Andy Carroll. They signed Andy Carroll because he scored the most amount of headed goals. Okay, and they thought who's a winger with the best cross completion percentage? Stuart Downing. So we signed the two of them, and you'd think that should be a good combination.
Jesus,
as we know, it wasn't.
Yeah. Jesus Christi, guys.
Wait, there's one super chat.
There's another one,
and it's from my boy Kyle.
is that your boy? Is your boy Kyle? Okay. So from Kyle Sterles 199, Messi is the greatest free kick taker. No BS. So Kyle, because I've met you and I know you, you're a Barcelona merchant, and because you're obsessed with Barcelona, you can't see beyond that club. So Kyle, first of all, tell Valverde that he needs to win that treble. Explain to me what's happening in that second leg at Anfield when you got shaken down, and also he isn't. It's Juninho. Anybody that watches his YouTube highlights reel and doesn't say that this is the best free kick take of all time, you're either stupid or you're dumb. Choose one. It's as simple as that. Okay, guys, it's been swell. Good man. Remember, guys, in the link below, in the description box below, follow your boy Nix and your boy Devo on their Twitter handles, and you obviously know where you can find me and everything. Remember, you can reach us on Twitter. Any questions you want to ask us and everything, find us on the beautiful social platform. We're always there, very active, doing our thing. It's been swell. It's been good. Peace out. Stay true. Remember to like the vid. Remember to share the vid. And remember to always stay black. Peace out.